Hey everybody, Dogbird here again in DC Worlds Collide. Another character spotlight. This time it's going to be on the epic character Killer Frost, who you may not realize is actually a god tier level character. Even though she's just epic, she is actually better than some legendaries, uh, but you might not realize it. So let's take a look at her. I am gearing her with this crit set because that's what I had laying around. You can also do attack set, and I also use speed set. Speed set could probably be used on just about any character though, because of the way that you generate energy. You want to get them as quick as possible. So that's up to you. You can do a crit set, an attack set, and crit set, depending on what 4-piece you want. You can do attack and speed. I don't think there's really any right answer other than you were looking for attack on her basic stats, if you can get it. Some pieces just don't have it. Crit is also another nice something to have. Defense breaks good, essentially offensive stats. You do need a little bit of hit points, doesn't hurt either. So if we look at her ultimate skill, it doesn't look like a whole lot. Unleashes a burst of frost power. She progresses her action bar by 60% and gains 1 stack of cloak. Afterwards, she enters her burst state for 2 turns, which causes each basic attack to additionally attack 1 back row enemy. Essentially, instead of just hitting, we had to look at the basic actually to better describe this. She raises her hand. She deals superpower damage at first 85% to an enemy and adding a stack of frostbite. Essentially, the ultimate makes it so she gets 2. A small little AoE essentially. I've increased her all the way up to 105%. This is actually quite important. She just gets better and better as you rank her up. And if you didn't know what frostbite was, it deals superpower damage equal to 15% of her attack. This is why you want to attack. And you have a max of 10 stacks, which you can easily get with just her on the team. So when we're looking at this, I have her up to level 2, so she gets an additional 20% damage amplification. This makes her hit harder. And she gets Cloak, blocks the next incoming debuff or control status, which could be like a stun or whatever, or silence. It just helps her out. It's not a great ultimate when you look at it on the at first, but that 60% progress bar means she can get another attack in fairly quickly with this basic, which gets a lot more frostbite, does more damage, can hit more characters, damage is amplified, so you want to do that stuff. Her passive increases damage application by 20%. When dealing damage to a target with less than 5 stacks of frostbite, she will add an additional stack of frostbite. I am up to level 2, so the damage increased damage application up to 25%. When she deals with 5 or more, she gets a 30% lifesteal, helps keep her alive. One day I'll get up to 30%. And her passive, this is another thing that's makes her incredibly good. When other allies attack with a basic attack, which they're going to do during your rounds before you get your energy, she has a 25% chance to assist them with basic attacks, and at first she can only do this once per round. So once you use up 5, this is why you want to rank her up. Increases the 35% chance, and then she can do it twice per round, making her even better. She does do quite a bit of damage, as you'll see. Only one who does more damage than her right now on my team is Constantine, because he's an AoE. She's more of a single targets thing. She does have a tactical renaissance, but it's kind of difficult to activate it because you need her plus 2 other DPS. Doesn't leave you a whole lot of room if you have 2 tanks in the front for like a healer. But should you activate it, the basic thing it gives is 12% more damage dealt by their basics. So you have somebody with a strong basic like a Constantine or something. The other DPS essentially, it's going to make them hit harder. For links, you need Firestorm to get 5% attack, 2.5% defense, Black Canary, which everybody gets on the second day, 2.5% attack, 2.5% hit points, 2.5% defense, and Deadshot and Boomerang, again, easy characters to get, 5% attack, 5% hit points. The only one who might be a problem is Firestorm, but he's generally pretty easy to get. So let's take a look at her in battle now. I do have some little bit older footage before I ranked her up more and got her a little bit higher, but you can still see the damage is amazing. Alright, so this was in one of the main stages, mini bosses 28-6. I'm using the team. This is my team I like to use. Lex Luthor, Nightwing, Constantine, Kid Flash, and Killer Frost. You're not going to see a whole lot from Killer Frost. She just kind of stands there. She's constantly putting out the frostbites and doing damage and assisting and doing her basic. But that damage is going to add up over time. She is very good in longer fights like this, like for mini bosses, because it gives her a chance to get those frostbites out there, do some damage with those, and constantly assist other people once they do their ultimate, their basics and stuff. You see there, I actually used her ultimate. Getting the cloak, increasing her damage amplification. She can hit multiple targets that way as well. As you can see, now we're getting some stacks on Huntress. And all those frostbite stacks do hurt. Like I said, you're not seeing anything major out of her. You don't even realize just how much damage she's really doing, because you're not really hitting the ultimate too often. And she just kind of sits there and does a whole bunch of damage without being really sneaky about it. So she probably flies under your radar. You don't realize just how good she is. See, we're getting down to here. You can see all this. There's 6 stacks on Robin of Frostbite. There's 10 stacks on Huntress. Killer Frost is a great plug-and-play character because of this. Because she does assist and puts out so many frostbites on her own, she does not need to be with other characters who put out frostbite. In fact, I would say she's almost better without that, because frostbite does max out at 10 stacks. That gives you an idea of what it looked like. I had some pausing issues. I'm going to pause the video in a second when I show the damage. So as you can see in the damage, only Constantine does more damage than her. She is doing a ton of damage, over 2 million. That is absolutely insane. And you didn't even realize that she was doing, because she's doing more single target or hitting a second target. Constantine does those big AoEs, so of course he's going to be more. But she just kind of sits there and helps you just take him down without you even realizing it. So one last thing that I have to point out that I always keep forgetting to do is the emblem system. If you're not familiar, emblems essentially increase basic stats and eventually will increase abilities on characters. And with her, she just gets better and better and better with these emblems. As you can see, I'm already getting attack bonus, defense bonus, more damage amplification, and lifesteal to help her live. I've completed the first one, so while in her burst state, she additionally gains another 25% damage amplification on top of everything else for basic attacks against support enemies. Once you get to level 2, then it becomes against DPS enemies. And then eventually, once you get to level 3, extends the burst state duration to 3 rounds. At the start of the battle, and she enters starts the battle off with 2 rounds. This makes her absolutely god tier. The amount of damage she'll be doing once you get her up to rank 3 is absolutely amazing. This is a character you want to heavily invest in and heavily use if you happen to get her, and she is pretty easy to get. And this is a character you also want to rank up as much as you possibly can. So hope that gives you an idea of Killer Frost and just how good she really is. Even though she doesn't look at it on the surface, once you put her into action, she is absolutely amazing. And this is definitely a character you want to use and invest in. So until next time, everybody,